Hello there, and welcome to the Cargo Bay Presents Set Guides 1995 Top Star Wars Galaxy Series 3, the Better Late Than Never edition. I am Brady C, here with my co-host, as always.
Adam BC, I'm in a galaxy state of mind, baby. We're back.
We're back. We're traveling back in time to when Topps was releasing Star Wars trading cards.
Nice.
In the year of our Lord 2024, they don't do that anymore. So let's just go back in time and talk about when they did release trading cards. We've got Series 3, the continuation of the famous Galaxy series that basically relaunched Star Wars trading cards for Topps. Series 3 is cards 276 through 365. So we're going to continue that base set. We're going to keep plugging away at it. We've also got some cool inserts, some etched foils, something called clear zones, which I didn't really know about, and the first appearance of a certain Grand Admiral Thrawn in Top Star Wars trading cards. So pretty exciting stuff.
BC, I love this box too. Just like the color of it. Love that there's this weird 3D render of the Galaxy block. I like the digital watch font. Everything about this box is appealing to me in a nostalgic, like you'll never see anything like this again kind of way.
The mid-90s were a very exciting time for trading cards, where they were like, technology!
Computers!
We got computer stuff! If you wanna go to our first slide, I do want to highlight something on our first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is the first day production stamp, which is
Nice.
this is pre-refractors. We are getting into some foil and some other sort of things that Topps is able to do with trading cards. But we do have a production day stamp on there. But most importantly, we're seeing Grand Admiral Thrawn in trading cards for the very first time in this product, with two very different qualities or renderings of Grand Admiral Thrawn, I will say.
So, VC, you did the research on this. You're certain this is the first appearance. I want to be clear on that, because people are going to go out there and make sure they got their rookie Thrawn or whatever.
Yeah. Who cares?
yeah.
I will say, I think the first day production card of the Thrawn with the seated sort of position, I think is the best early Thrawn. I think his rendering in the 96, because this is 95, 96 Finest comes out, and it's a character Thrawn card. He looks like garbage in that card. I think he looks really bad.
That card.
I don't really, it doesn't hit for me the same way that this card does in terms of the rendering.
This is not only a good card of Thrawn, this is one of the best cards in Galaxy as far as I'm concerned. Card rules. It's very cool.
I'm shocked this has not gotten chrome treatment, like for the, when they go back and select old Galaxy cards and throw the chrome on it. I am shocked that this is not one of those cards.
The only thing is, I don't want to lose any of that detail in the chrome, because just the composition is awesome. I love that fat TIE fighter, zooming off. It's just a very cool composition.
It is. It's a great composition. And I don't want to be mean to artists, but I will say, nice try on the other Thrawn. And it's specifically, just don't look at his eye, is all I'll say. Because they are not situated. Maybe it's Chiss, anatomy. It's wildly offset.
I'm not sure if this is a book cover or not. I know that shuttle is from that exact shuttle image. That it's not the same painting, but that image and composition has been taken from the front of an X-Wing novel.
It's either a book or a novel, probably, or a comic book or a novelization kind.
it's funny to me because this artist is clearly good at replicating existing images, but
Right?
as far as creating a face from scratch, maybe not as competent at that. It does
We'll
look
put one here, and as someone who's tried their hand at sketch cards, I know the feeling of like their eyeballs aren't right. Better get out the eraser.
It looks wobbly in the same way that me trying to do this would be wobbly. I mean, mine would be much worse, but it does seem like this would have been benefited from just having a direct facial reference that was then turned blue. But yeah, so that card not as cool. You can also get a first day production stamp of that one. I do like these stamps. If you open a box of Galaxy 3, you'll get one in, I can't remember if it's one in every pack or one in every couple packs, but you'll get a fair amount of the first day production stamps. Nothing too special, but it's a nice touch.
Yeah, the thing I would say about the set guides, value in these is almost non-existent, right? Yeah. Like, value is if you've got an unopened box, because as soon as you open the box, it's going to basically immediately lose all of its value, because there's nothing in there that is particularly rare or incredibly collectible. I mean, it's just not really there. What I like about this product is it is what it is, which is a continuation, a celebration of Star Wars art from a vast array of artists, which I think is the coolest thing this particular Galaxy series has going for it. It does have cool inserts. I know you were particularly high on the next slides inserts that we've got.
Before we get there, BC, I do want to mention you can find PSA 9s or 10s of these cards listed on eBay for lots of money. And it may be true. It may be hard to grade a 10 on these cards because they're old paper cards. You might not get a single 10 out of a new box for all I know. But I will say, I don't think the demand is super high for that. So if you're thinking, oh man, these cards are worth a lot because there's a PSA 10 listed for $200 on eBay, that is, that's probably low population count, sure, but don't think you're going to go turning a profit if you are also trying to list at super high prices or whatever.
There's a reason there's a low population, and it's because nobody cares.
There's a lot of this out there. There's a lot of this out there.
There's a ton of it. There's a ton of it. And I get I understand collectors. Like, I like having the slabs. I do too. I get that. But like collecting, if you find the card you want, it's like, don't overpay for it just because someone is holding the only copy of a PSA 10. It's because they're the only person who thought to grade it. Like, it's just, that's all there is to it.
Maybe it took 10 submissions to get there. So maybe it is, there are a couple cards in these sets that are some of my favorite cards of all time. Would I maybe someday in the future, if I have money, be like, you know what, I really want a PSA 10 of that first day production stamp. Maybe I'm going to spend $60 just to have it because I really want it for whatever reason. Maybe, but none of this is going to be worth tons and tons of money because there's plenty of boxes left. There's thousands of boxes that have been opened. There's, I'm sure, warehouses full of, I've got hundreds of these cards in this box.
You can still buy these boxes sealed pretty much all the time. Like, they just made so much. Yeah. There's no scarcity. The production stamp looks cool, but it's not like, oh, I've got a parallel refractor of this. It's like, no, you just got a cool stamp on it. That's all right.
Stamp. Little stamp. It is, you're lucky if it's not crooked, so I guess that helps the grading being hard. But yeah, Thrawn and Rook there. Glad that's on here, BC, because that card rules.
It's a great card, yeah.
All right, moving on to that insert set. Look at these LucasArts cards, BC.
These are super dope. They do have a LucasArts stamp on them. So to continue the stamp, I mean, you could probably speak more to what some of these cards are directly from in terms of what's on the front there.
So these are just Star Wars games up to this point, basically. Some of them are covers, like that Dark Forces card on the left is just the cover of Dark Forces, basically. Very cool card. And then on the right, you have the cover of Rebel Assault, which was my introduction to Star Wars. But it's cool because that full image isn't on the box in a way that you can look at it. And here you've got the full, the full painting, which is super cool to me. Love that card. And then there are also cards that are just kind of like production renderings and stuff I had never seen before I bought a complete set of these cards for like $7 off of eBay. Like really easy to come by these. Lots of Dark Forces, lots of TIE Fighter and X-Wing. There's a picture of Kyle Katarn with his weapons on his back that's very cool that I had never seen before, as well as clearly just a cardboard cutout of a stormtrooper kind of photoshopped in the back. But these are neat, and they have cool information on the back as well. So I like this set because I love 90s Star Wars games. And again, yeah, images I hadn't seen depicting characters from some of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, a great insert set. Definitely hits the nostalgia bone right now. I mean, the Dark Forces card is super sick. Did you? I'm trying to remember. Just dust off the old memory bank. Did you open Series 3 stuff?
Yes, I opened a box of Series 3. I think I almost, if I didn't get the full set of these in a box, it was close.
Okay.
These are not, they're all throughout these packs. Really easy to find. Again, they're dirt cheap to get the whole set already put together for you. Probably not going to be a 10. There's a lot of, these images are pretty dark, so you'll get, paint or whatever chips on these cards pretty easily. But great insert set, and this is the reason why I put Galaxy Series 3 as one of my top 5 sets of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cool images in every Galaxy base set, but I do like these inserts a lot.
If you'll hit the next slide, I did not recall the Agents of the Empire clear zone cards. Did you get the Zuckuss?
No, I have the Dengar, I believe, and
that Dengar rocks so hard.
Oh, I have a Forlom. That's what I know. Forlom.
Okay. Because I saw these. This is like a clear acetate, sort of style card. Again, card technology. We're starting to move forward. They said, you know what? Let's make these sons of guns clear now.
Yeah, their color, all the way through, but usually the main chunk of the image is not see-through, and the clear zone is colored and see-through. These are the only acetate cards I've ever held. I haven't ever, high tech I haven't touched.
Right, yeah.
But these are cool. They are kind of hard to come by. I think I only got one or maybe two, but I think only one in that box, and I've been looking to get the IG-88 at some point, just because they're kind of neat. It is a bummer they had to have all the copyright information or whatever printed up the right side of the card, because it does, I think, take away from the image to have that scrawled on there. I like text like that on things generally, but kind of muddies everything for me.
Yeah. I had basically forgotten that this was part of the set. They're cool, and more rare, obviously, but like all early Galaxy, affordable. I mean, you can find this. It's not like you got to pay $1,000 for one of these cards. Like, you can get the full set for, I don't know, probably $20 or $30 at
is
most.
That true? Okay,
I think so. Yeah,
I remember that 88 being like, I don't really want to pay $20 for one of these, and that was seeming
I looked at a few listings where they were selling complete sets of it. It might have been as high as $50 asking price, but it's still listed, So it's like they're not incredibly expensive compared to some other stuff, but it for Galaxy, right? This would be like the higher threshold of what a card price would be.
I think these are much cooler chase cards than a lot of the chase cards in these early Galaxy sets. They're unique. They look cool. But I think our next slide is probably the other.
Let's go ahead and get to the the lesser
The
of the
etched
inserts, which
foil.
these are. I think these are just really bad.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
they fall apart really easily on the edges. Kind of the etched foil look isn't something that I love. I love this Jawa image in front of the Sandcrawler. I would rather just have it as a base card. I pulled some of these. I have some of these. You know, they're puzzle pieces. They're just, the colors aren't bright.
The puzzle doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's, it's kind of a mess of a collage.
Yeah, it's figures floating in space.
That Falcon card is one that I have. It's ugly. It's the underside of the Falcon. Yeah, I just don't like the etched foil treatment at all. It almost kind of like, there's something about it that kind of makes me feel like fingernails going down a chalkboard. It's not pleasing to me. But maybe you're a big fan. Let us know. Sorry, I'm talking trash on your favorite thing, but I think these kind of stink.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either. But the good news is also super cheap. That's the great news about all this stuff. If you want it, you can get every single card for very little money. Let's go on to some cooler looking stuff. I just pulled a few cards from the base. We've got that sick Boba Fett card that was the most recent box art for the Chrome 2023 Chrome. It's a great Boba Fett coming out of the Sarlacc.
So rad.
We got the Murder C-3PO version. I remember either you or I, or maybe both of us, pulling this card back when we were just spinning wheels and ripping packs. And I was enamored immediately by this, which is a comic book cover. I have sought out the comic book. The good news is it is also very affordable. If you're into displaying comic books on your wall, you can have a Murder C-3PO on the wall there.
To be clear, I don't think it is actually C-3PO. I think it's some other random protocol droid. But this is one of the cards I most want in a Chrome Galaxy. Top of my list. I bought 3 different copies of this for like $2 a piece of first day production stamps of this card, because this was one where I was like, I want a 9 or a 10 of this someday. Let me just clean up everything that's on eBay for $6 so that maybe someday I'll grade one.
It's a sweet card.
Very cool.
It's a great card. Got a great X-Wing card, and I did include the Ewok Adventure card that is in this set as well. Again, just sort of the range of stuff you can find in Galaxy, and in general, top Star Wars cards in the 90s. It's like the Wild West, baby. Just weird stuff out there. It really is a great just binder collections to have. Like, this was the state of Star Wars, and it's a good visual representation in the trading cards because they included all of it.
Yeah, I mean that image of Boba Fett coming out of the Sarlacc pit, it's very cool, very 90s.
Yeah.
I think I got a first day production stamp of that as well. That X-Wing BC, of course, is one of the highlights of my collection. Had the 50 of 50 Mojo and the 10 of 10 ESA 10 X-Fractor.
Does it have the title on the? Is it the Captain Wedge Antilles?
Escaping the ATSTs. It's from issue 3 of Rogue Squadron comic, I believe.
Okay.
It doesn't say which pilot it is specifically. It says Wedge Antilles is leading, but it's not replicated in a panel in the comic book. I've looked through to try to confirm who the pilot was, and haven't ever. You can't see the stripes on the wings in the image. So anyway, I don't think there's enough detail on the helmet, even on the comic cover, to it's not Wedge's helmet as far as I can tell, but can't really tell. It's Dave Dorman, who does a lot of cool Star Wars art. But I like this card a lot. I like it even more in the Chrome because I think it kind of looks better with the ATSTs obscured a little bit by the foil. Yeah,
it's a good composition on that one. It's a very nice composition. I don't necessarily love the composition of the Ewok Adventure. Just wanted to include it because they deemed that important to share with the world.
I'm glad they did.
So I am too.
There's a million cool cards in this set. Definitely not grabbing all the ones that I love, but I threw a couple more on here. BC, a lot of these book cover cards. Which again is cool because you don't have to crack your spine open to see the full image, and there's not text all over it. It's cool to just get the art of these covers. I love this. This whatever this book is. I can't remember the name of it, but man, it's a cool composition as a poster.
The flowers really sell it for me, which isn't like you talk about composition and how things are composed. You can clearly see how it's full, like would be laid out for the book, right?
Yeah,
it works really well for a trading card. In this particular style, it's not unlike the particular balance of horrified Luke sees his family killed. You've got a third heavy on one side, and then a lot of negative space on the other.
To breathe.
A little something.
Just a cool texture too. Very even the texture of it is very 90s. That maroon, and you can. I know all of these images, like the references for them. Like I know that exact shot of the stormtroopers. I know that exact X-wing that's been used on 9 million things. But I do believe we have a Leia that has a head replaced with a young boy, which is very funny. Like a Leia reference image.
Looks sharp.
Yeah, cool stuff. And then I think this is Dave Dorman too here, the Cantina. I could be wrong, but this Cantina card is another one where I bought like 3 day one production stamps because I love this card. Just the red and the blue and the yellow and the the jizz whalers there.
Love a card that tells a story and has some jizz whaling in it. Yeah, reminds me of our days playing in those clubs. But yeah, cool cards. And then you've got the Gamorrean Guards just rocking out with some stormtrooper helmets there. The guy in the foreground, that's just comedy gold right there. With the helmet over his eyeballs.
In stormtrooper armor, looking through the little vent holes there, I guess. It just, this to me looks, it looks much more like fantasy art than sci-fi, but in a cool way. I don't know. And I like Gamorreans. Got a soft spot for Gamorreans.
Yeah, you do.
Looks cool. Looks like some orcs, killing some stormtroopers. Neato.
Yeah. It's again, the Galaxy series always delivers. It's just there's hidden gems and treasures. There is little to no value other than the sentiment that you bring to it, which I think is why I love it so much. Because it's not about, I gotta turn a profit on my Galaxy 1 through 3 cards. No, it's about, I'm gonna sit down and read the back of this weird card and find out what was going on in the 90s.
And I have had different desk card gardens set up with these cards. These cards have each featured on my desk for periods of time. It's just nice. Little cards to look at.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I guess that's it, BC, for our Galaxies Series 3 set guide. How about that?
Hey, we're back with set guides, baby.
We did it.
Coming up, everyone, set your clocks, set your calendars. I can't tell you dates, so don't really do it. But next, we will be doing the 96 Finest set, which, if you're a binder boy like me, is just an all-time banger.
Yeah, love that set. We both do. So that'll be exciting.
Yep.
But all right, well, I guess that's it though, BC, for now.
Bye forever. Let us know what some of your favorite cards are down in the comments. Got some set guides if you haven't already. There's some tasty stuff in there. That's what I've got until I do a shoomp.
I'm ready for it, BC. Got my
Here I go.
trigger.
I'll be less weird than the last time we did this just a few minutes ago.
Oh.
So here I go. Shoomp.
I messed up a little bit.
Okay.